In this video, we're going to talk about fee management on Zora Drops architecture. That'll include the Vol FM broadcast terminal 5500. So we'll start by just checking out a Zora drop or a drop on Vol FM, and we'll walk through what it looks like for the fee to get paid. We'll change the fee, and we'll show you all the steps in between. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy an NFT. And then while we're waiting for that transaction to go through, I'm going to take this contract address and go over to Moonbuy's Polygon scan, because this is a test on Moonbuy. And I think my transaction already went through. We've already received the funds. So now I can come over here, right, and now we can withdraw the funds into my wallet. This is the same if you're using it on Zora's website. If you're using it on Vol's website, you need to withdraw your funds. And so once you withdraw, we can see where the money goes, and then we can talk about the next steps. So while we're waiting for that to go through, let's look at the Redis proxy. So this is your drop. You can see this, any drop you're using, if it's built on the Zora Drops architecture, you can just go to your read section, and then you can scroll down to the bottom to find your Zora Fee Manager. This is the contract that manages your fee. And so we can check this contract out, and then we can go into the contract and read the contract, and we can say, let's get our withdrawal fees for our contract. So we'll take this contract address, we'll paste it in as the media contract, and we'll query, and we can see that we should get charged 500 BPS, aka 5% of our withdrawal fees should be charged as a fee to this address, which is one of my other accounts. I hope I just minted this. I think I might have just minted this with the wrong account. It should be fine regardless. I think it should be fine. So let's go back to that withdrawal transaction. It should be nice and loaded easy for us to see all the details now. And we can see 95% went to the seller, and then 5% went to the fee holder. So now let's see if we can change that. Let's go over to write as proxy. We'll go down to, in the fee manager, we'll copy our contract address. We'll go to write. So inside of the fee contract, to modify the royalty fee, you need to go to setFeeOverride, paste the address of the drop. This is your drop proxy address, and then the fee that you want it to be. So if we want to set it to 0, we would think that we would set it to 0, right? And I phrase it like this to just show something that we're going to try to do. So we'll just set it to 0. We'll write. We'll set this. So we've got our drop, we've got our fee manager. We set the fee on our fee manager for our drop so that the next time we withdraw, this should be empty now. I believe I've withdrawn. Yeah, I've withdrawn, so this is empty. So while we're waiting for transactions to go through, I'm going to go ahead and mint another to refill this contract up with a little bit of Matic so that we can do another withdrawal. Confirm the transaction. And let's go back over and check out what our fee currently looks like. Let's go back to read. Let's query. Oh no, our fee's still 500. Why is that? Why is that? Great question. If we check inside of the contract for the get withdrawal fee, it says if your fee override is greater than 0, it'll use your fee override. In this case, we set our fee override to 0. And so it's just going to pay the default fee. And so what we have to do is we have to set it to something that's greater than 0. And so what we can set it to is we can set this to 1, which means the fee is 0.01%, which is, in my opinion, a negligible fee, 0.01% fee. So we'll try setting it to that and see if it changes. Cool. Good old Matic having a lot of weird things with our gas estimation. Submit that transaction. Our contract should now have funds from the minting. It does have funds in it. And so let's go back to read, query this again. Our fee is now 1. So our fee should have dropped. We can see here's how much our original fee was. We had 95% going to the seller and 5% going to the fee. Now we can try to withdraw this balance again. Connect our wallet. Go down to withdraw. Withdraw your fee. One of the things I've really liked about working on Optimism is that everything is pretty much instantaneous. While this takes nothing super long, less than a minute, it's non-negligible, whereas Optimism is pretty much instantaneous. I find Polygon to be a lot slower in general, and it's also not a roll-up onto Ethereum, and so you're not necessarily getting the same security that you would on a roll-up. So we're just waiting for those additional details to show up that say where the funds were actually routed. And we can see, boom, we got 99.99% of the funds went to the seller and 0.01% of the fee went to the fee recipient. So that is how you can change your drop. If you're working on Vol FM, if you're working on Zora Drops, keep in mind the only person that can change the fee is the controller of the fee. The only reason I was able to change that fee is because I deployed this stack and I set myself as the owner. If we go back over here in the read, like the owner is my address. So I am the owner, so I'm able to set the fee. If you're not the owner, you're gonna have to get the owner's permission, or because all this code's open source, you could just redeploy the whole stack and then you could be the owner of the fee. Or if you're gonna redeploy, you might as well just scrap out the fee and then deploy the stack without the fee. But if you're watching this, you're probably interested in changing the fee. And so if you're doing this on Zora, reach out to Zora DAO and see if they'll change the fee for you or see what their process is for changing the fee. If you're doing this on Vol FM, reach out to Vol FM on Twitter or Lucas on Twitter and see if they'll change the fee for you. And that's it. Hope this was helpful. This is Sweets, signing off.